A warm welcome to all my lovely audience on Icy Tales today. Today it is indeed my pleasure and honor to be sharing virtual screen space with Miss Namita Ambani, who is an entrepreneur woman. Yes, she has co-founded this venture called Pheal, and ma'am will explain more about this in our questions to come. So first of all, welcome ma'am. How are you and how does it feel to be here?
Thanks, Siba, for this opportunity of speaking with your platform. Feels wonderful to be here. What you just said also feels wonderful. Entrepreneur woman. That sounds nice.
So very nice to see that you were happy to have us, and likewise, I'm happy to have you for this interview today. So without holding up further, I think we should get started because I'm so excited to see how you answer all the upcoming questions. So can we get started?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So let's just start by getting to know your roots. So I'm sure getting into the entrepreneurial field was something which not many people do. So why did you choose into getting into this field?
Well, actually, my career journey is not as much by design as it is by chance. And I suspect a lot of working mothers kind of face the dilemmas that even I have faced. I've actually worked in the corporate field for a long time as well. I pride myself on being a good mix of corporate and entrepreneurial experience. And also, I pride myself on being a combination of many different industries. Again, not by design, but it just so happened that while making career choices for choosing between family and children, I had to let go of some corporate commitments. Work from home was not a thing back then at all. And it it led me to think that why don't I do something on my own. My dad supported my decision, and I started my first business, which was around organic food. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and that entire excitement and journey of creating something from scratch kind of got me hooked. So even though I came back to corporate for a while, it always kind of, it stayed at the back of my mind that I'd like to move back into the, startup space. It's really exciting. I've actually been in media industry. I've been in retail. I have also done some really fun work in the organic food space when I was part of it. Uh, and just before entering healthcare, I was running my organic food business. And healthcare as an opportunity just kind of happened when I was looking to come back. And with all the experience that I had amassed in terms of running a business, setting up a business from scratch, and also the entire strategy planning, revenue planning that I gained in corporate, I thought it was really the right time for me to do something entrepreneurial. And uh, I got offered this opportunity to turn around a business. And I thought that was so exciting. It was just what I needed at the time, the right challenge with a good mix, being able to run the firm on my own and getting it to turn a profit. And that was a healthcare venture as well. And from there, now I've been in healthcare for quite a few years. Secondary healthcare, to be very specific. I've been in the physiotherapy industry for a few years now.
It's very nice to see your journey filled with so much of adventure. So, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us, ma'am. Let's get into your venture now, Pheal. So, the name is very, very interesting. So, tell us something about this venture and how did you get this idea to start this up?
So Pheal stands for healing with physiotherapy, hence PHEAL, Pheal. Pheal also happened, like I said, by chance. And I've actually been in physiotherapy industry for a while. I've had the chance to interact with some really amazing physiotherapists, and it's a profession. Frankly, I have to tell you, it's a profession that I truly respect. They are one profession that can keep us out of the hospital for years together, and keep our quality of lifestyle upgraded.
Yes.
So I love the work that physiotherapists do, and my journey with them also has been really interesting and really fun. So I was in this space where I was already doing something in physiotherapy, but I was looking to get more out of, in my current situation. I mean, I was okay, but I was looking to do something more. And just by chance, I happened to be introduced to our founder, Surya Agarwal.
Okay.
He he has seen the other side of physiotherapy. He's been a patient for many years
Mm.
due to his passion for snowboarding. He actually injured himself a couple of times, and he spent years and years in surgery and also getting treated by physiotherapists all over the world. So he as well had a lot of respect for this industry. So when we came together literally over a cup of coffee at Starbucks, and we spoke about what both of us like doing and what we enjoy. Uh, we realized that literally both of us want to do something exciting in this space, and we want to give back to this particular industry and uh, create uh, create a platform that can actually upgrade what is currently available to physiotherapists.
Yeah.
That's how Pheal happened. And if I have to put it in very simple words, I would say that Pheal is a omni-channel platform that we are trying to create to upgrade practices for physiotherapists that they can leverage for upgrading their practice,
Yeah.
and also eventually down the road lead generation, right? uh, it's a highly unorganized industry. There is very or no little external support per se.
Yeah.
There are some organizations, government organizations, who are doing some good work in the physiotherapy space, but besides that, uh, it's it's not that well supported. It's not that well organized. Every physiotherapist is like a lone ranger in that
Mm.
sense, in their journey, in their career goals, in their personal goals. So me and Surya both felt there's lots to do, and that's what we've set out to do in Pheal.
Mhm. One major thing that I must say is Starbucks did give birth to something very, very interesting. So we must thank you as well, and both of your minds at the end of the day for bringing upon such a great application that will help a lot of physiotherapists. So great job on that, ma'am. And also, since you spoke about the mindset behind all this, how do you think technology in the field of health and wellness will coexist?
Historically, healthcare is the last space to adopt technology.
Mhm.
The reason being that the stakes are very high. For a healthcare professional to adopt anything in technology, they have to consider every single angle.
Yep.
They are ultimately treating patients, they are treating people, their lives are getting impacted. So they are very wary of it, and plus also startups also have bombarded everyone with so many different options that they also don't know what to adopt, what not to adopt. Their time is very valuable.
Yes.
So given all this, it's actually not a very easy space to penetrate.
Yes.
um, Having said that, the one big way in which I feel that technology can support physiotherapy is by saving time for them.
Mm.
Okay, so their time is limited and precious. And the last thing we want them to spend their time on is on the non productive aspects of their job. So every single work, practice, job comes with certain aspects which are non productive. And that's what we'd like to digitize. We are
Mm.
not trying at all to substitute a phone for a physiotherapist or a video for a physiotherapist. No, we are hardcore believers in manual therapy. We believe that a physiotherapist actually treating you in person has immense value.
Yep.
So what we are trying to do is to take away all the non-productive aspects of your work and digitize them.
Yep.
That's what we are doing. Also, because it's an industry that definitely can use a boost, there are a whole lot of physiotherapists passing out of college every year. We thought they also could use a leg up in terms of lead generation, in terms of what is the right way to communicate
Mm.
your practice on social media or otherwise.
And great job on your thoughts behind this very nice project. So great job on that, ma'am. Let's move on to our next question. So I'm sure being an entrepreneur, you would have had so many learnings that came across your way. So what are some of the major learnings you have while being in this field and being an entrepreneur?
Actually, personally, I would say the one of the main things I learned is that I should never limit myself or limit my thinking to one industry or one job. The reason why I was able to run a small business or a medium sized business like a CEO or as a co-founder or any other at maybe like at 35 or 33 or something. The reason is uh, because I never thought I'm limiting myself in any role. I mean, when I was a strategy person, I gave myself completely into it. When I was a revenue planning person in retail, I picked up whatever I could from that role, right? And I never thought that, okay, today I'm in retail, so I want to always be the revenue planner for the next 20 years or 30 years, right? So I feel like life kind of hits you with, different phases and opportunities, and what you make of it
Right.
uh, is, like you need to enjoy your work. I think bottom line is this: just enjoy what you're doing. And one other major learning which I must mention, okay, you work with all sort of people in your career, and I've realized that one of the most important things after the role that you're working in is the kind of people you work in. So whenever you're getting interviewed, I think you should also interview the people who want to hire you or who want to work with you. It's it's literally like of primal importance, the quality of people who you work with. They highly influence your thinking, your behavior, your moods, and then your life.
I must again say that your thoughts were just very, very properly framed and they did justice to everything that you just mentioned. So, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, ma'am. Also, when I was reading your profile, I noticed that it said your motto is adding value to your customer's life. So, what kind of methods have you been taking to achieve this motto, and what's the story behind setting this motto for your life?
So, okay, for my life, you mean, not for Pheal. That's what you mean to
Yeah,
ask,
yes,
right?
yes.
Right. So, what I realized when I worked in media, retail, healthcare, organic food, education, all these industries, I realized ultimately the common line of the common line amongst all these businesses is that when is the customer going to be sticky to you? When is the customer going to find your brand or your service or your product good or try it out? Is
Mhm.
when you're adding some value to their life. You can make like the world's best service or product, and the customer may not pick it up if it does not add value to their life. So identifying the need of the customer before even they know it's a need, and satisfying that need, adds value. And I think that's common amongst any and all businesses that you may do in your life. In addition to that, I think one very important thing which a lot of startups tend to miss, but I am sure to not miss that always, is the bottom line in the business, right? So I always believe that whenever you're doing something, it should be very, very clear where you're headed. You We cannot be just spending money for the heck of spending money.
Yes.
There needs to be a planned ROI. There needs to be a reason why you're spending that money and how you plan to recover that money and then more, right?
Yes.
So, bottom line and customer value. These are the two things actually I swear by in any business.
That was exactly going to be my next question, but you did it right now. So let's anyway see what you have in store. So this is our last question, and I wanted it to be something which people can adapt to and learn something from. So being a successful entrepreneur, what tips do you have for budding entrepreneurs to help them in making their ventures successful?
Actually, I'd say that don't be scared of failures.
Mhm.
Every time you fail, just buy yourself a nice ice cream or get yourself a chocolate or something. Because if it is not for the failures, I don't think you can progress. I don't think we can progress without failing. So
Yep,
I mean, for me, the buzz line that I use is sometimes we win and sometimes we learn,
yep.
and it's totally fine.
It's okay to fail and it's okay to feel not okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're not going to grow if you're not failing. If you think you're on a trajectory that's only a win, 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 then you're blind somewhere.
Yep,
And it's totally fine to do that. It's totally fine to make mistakes, but learn from them and then apply them. And I'm sure that the second time you do the same job, you'll do a much better job. But being an entrepreneur is not about being right. Being an entrepreneur is about identifying the right needs. Uh, and it can be a hit or miss many times. And that's also fine.
Yep.
It's a journey.
You spoke about not getting fallen down because of failures. I must say that in not just entrepreneurial field, any field, we should not keep ourselves back because we have failed. So that's something which I took a highlight from whatever you said. So thank you so much for that, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time. And we have come to the end of the interview. So I must say that it was a great 15-minute session, I think, where I got so many insights from you. And I'm sure everyone listening to this also has great insights from you.
Thank you, Hiba. It's been a pleasure. And thank you for taking the time to talking to me.
Likewise, ma'am. Thank you so much. Have a great day and do take very good care of yourself.